That is the only way to describe this weather out here right now. Take a look at the thermometer, above 90 already, flirting with 100 there. It is so hot, no matter how much deodorant you put on, you're gonna sweat through your shirt in a matter of minutes. And electronics like my iPad have just totally stopped working out here. We're also having some issues with our mics too. From now until 6 o'clock, we are going to talk about how to survive this week ahead, because if you think today's bad, it's only going to keep being bad for the rest of the week. There are plenty of ways, though, to beat the heat, scientifically proven tricks like these three right here. First up, the first thing you want to do is take an ice cube and rub it against your skin. I know that sounds like the biggest duh ever, but doctors say you might not know where you want to rub it. Right here on your wrist. They say that is the thinnest area of your skin, and the blood's going to pass right through there, through this artery, and once it does, the ice cube cools down the blood, and it actually then flows throughout the rest of your body. Okay, tip number 2, a face mist. Women, you already know about this because you use it to set your makeup, but guys, it is time for us to get on board with this too. I tell you, it is so cool and refreshing. I don't want to stop doing it out here. But this also not only is an instant blast of cold on your face, it actually helps your skin protect you because it shrinks your pores, according to Kay Williams with Skin Therapy Studio.
Shrinking the pores helps to keep hydration into the skin, and that's the key to keeping cool. Hydrating once again.
And look, there are all kinds of expensive facial sprays you can buy, like up to $50. You can make your own for like 50 cents. What Kay recommends doing is actually taking a peppermint tea bag and brewing this and then mixing it with 50-50, just some water, and waiting for it to cool down. She says that peppermint will also make your face tingle, which helps shrink those pores even more. Now on to point 3 here. We are talking about spicy foods like these hot pepper almonds that are coated in Carolina Reaper peppers. You're thinking, oh my gosh, it's hot. Why do I want hot foods? Well, that makes your body sweat, which is your own nature's response to trying to cool down. You just want to make sure, though, that you drink plenty of water so you don't dehydrate. Or do what these guys are doing, find a good pool to jump into. Doesn't this look like fun over at Best Friends and Biscuits Dog Inn in Greensboro? They are having the time of their life out there, and I sure wish I was in the pool too. You know, while that is a fun way for them to cool down, the heat can actually be really dangerous for your pets too. Again, we already know that it is hot out here, but the pavement is even hotter. We got this fancy temperature gun here. Right now, it says that the pavement is like 120 degrees out here. Most of you don't have this at home, so you don't know if it's safe to walk your dog or not with this. Another easy thing you can do is take your hand and you put it right down on the pavement. Oh yeah, it's too hot, I already got to take it off. If you can't hold it there for 5 seconds, it is not safe to walk your dog. And here's why that's so important.
It can blister their feet. I mean, it can give them 2nd and 3rd degree burns. Be basically like you putting your hand on top of a hot stove.
Dogs also have similar signs of heat stroke to humans. They might be lethargic, they might get a little cranky for who they are, they could roll over and not want to get up. You might see them panting a lot too, so it's really important to pay attention to those signs and make sure that they're not out in the heat too long. Another group that you really need to be careful about is the elderly. If you got a loved one in your friends, your neighborhoods, your family, you might want to just check on them this week, because a Harvard study found that the elderly are the most likely to suffer a heat stroke during all of these heat waves we're having right now.
They can develop confusion and organ damage if their body heat goes too high. So if that is identified, if someone's not acting right out in the heat, it's really important to call 911 as quick as possible.
We've all heard of a heat stroke, but what about a heat cramp? It's the earliest sign the heat could be making you sick. The University of Iowa's hospitals and clinics say it's a painful muscle spasm, usually in your abs, back, and arms. You'll also have lots of heavy sweating. If you feel that, immediately go inside and drink water. Researchers found in rare cases, extended heat cramps can turn into a condition called rhabdomyolysis. There are several reported cases of it happening to college football players practicing in the heat. The Mayo Clinic even issued a warning on YouTube explaining what could happen.
Injured muscles break down and release a protein called myoglobin into the bloodstream. This protein can damage the kidneys, and it can also block the conduits that produce urine.
It's extremely dangerous.
So again, the second you feel any cramping pain in your abs, back, or arms, it's time to get inside and cool off. Okay, so this is how much water the Mayo Clinic says that the average male should drink a day. We're talking a gallon a day. Women should get 2/3 of this, but you do not want to try to chug this thing down all at once. Instead, you want to do this strategy right here. You drink a little gulp of it every 20 minutes or so, and that helps keeps you hydrated. You know, it is time for me, since I've been out here, to have one of these cups of water. So while I do that, I wanted to show you the damage that cars can suffer for all this heat. A little while back, we looked at how, yes, heat can crack your windshield. Light it up. What better way than a blowtorch to see what extreme heat can do to your windshield? Hold up. First, here's who 210 talked with to verify this myth. Scott Harkey with Windshield Glass, who has more than 20 years experience. And Pat McCain with McCain Auto Glass, also with 20 years in the biz. Both of whom say business picks up when the temperatures change.
Very hot, very cold are glass shop's friends.
Sometimes we've had customers even call and their car's been parked out in the parking lot, and they come out from work and they go, "It wasn't cracked when I went to work." Typically what that is just, again, the heat.
Check it out. Within 15 seconds of putting the blowtorch on the glass, it cracks.
Kind of like that.
This is a bit extreme. You're not going to take a blowtorch to your windshield.
Correct.
But it could still happen with summer heat.
Excessive temperatures and broken glass don't like each other.
To understand why, you have to go down to the molecular level. Hot atoms move faster than cool ones. So when one side of the glass gets hotter than the other, those atoms move faster, ripping away from the cold ones, causing the crack.
It's just part of nature.
But it's not all glass half empty. There are things you can do to protect your car. Make sure you get any small chips in your windshield filled in, because they can make the problem worse. You also want to try to keep the two sides of your windshield about the same temperature. So for example, don't pick the middle of a hot, sunny day to go for a car wash.
All of a sudden, and that cold water hits it, it will cause it to pop in a heartbeat.
So sorry folks, you don't want to blow off this myth. It's verified. Extreme temperatures can crack your windshield. While we're talking about cars, here's one trick to cool your car down fast. Consumer Reports says when you get in, roll all the windows down, blast that air condition for about 20 seconds. Then once it cools down, you want to roll up the front, roll the back halfway down for another 20 seconds. That lets the wind force out the back.